Here we are, traveling. But to understand well what happened, we have to go back to where the traveling virus first hit me, to my city, Adlhd, in my country, France. 1997, Scotland was the first one, a school trip through Belgium and England to reach Scotland, visiting cities and museums hosted by families. But too young, too early to understand what was going on. 2 years later, my fencing coach planned a training with the French Guiana Fencing Club. That was the click, the contamination. Tropical forest, scorpion and tarantula, fresh banana and coconut, sun, had with an added tour of the famous galleys Île du Salut, featured by Henri Charrière in the novel Papillon, and the chance to visit the Kourou Aerospace Center and watch the rocket Ariane 4 take off. Following to that, my professor of literature organized a trip around Sicilia to discover some origins of the Latin civilization. Driving around the island, we discovered another culture and heritage with new landscape shape, enough to expand my curiosity to the world. The next year, we left to Cadiz, down south of Spain, with my best friend Tiffen and some other friends to explore the Spanish culture. Mixed with the local, we were immersed in flamenco, delicious homemade tortillas and sun. 5 long and difficult years passed before leaving again for an additional culture discovery trip mixed with fun on the North Spanish Gold Coast with my 2 best friends. Tunisia followed. A trip with my mum to meet the Arabic culture through desert, arid landscape and poverty. Stop! Here we are, traveling. On a freezing winter night, fed up of the society's follower schema without freedom for my dreams, I wandered on internet. And suddenly, I've met Bob through his travel book to Australia. After hours of reading, the traveling ideas that popped up in my mind till now started to germinate and grow. Followed a quick trip to London with my soulmate auntie to check my English level, which confirmed it was a disaster. Australia, the big jump. I had nothing anymore except a backpack, lots of love, freedom, dreams and my curiosity, and learn materialism. For my family and friends, I've created Kikubu, my travel book titled Hope Your Dreams Devour Your Life Before Your Life Devour Your Dreams. New country, new culture, new language, new friends, new job, new plan, new knowledge, new everything, new life, feeling alive, a beginning about unlearning my beliefs I care about learning. Through unforgettable experiences such as seed planting or weeks road trip with other travelers along the Western Australia coast, I've waved friendship for life, and Claire stays the stronger one. Unmaterialism, freedom of body and mind, unknown, open mind, discovery, peace, so many words who suddenly made sense to me. I've also experienced jewelry making, casual photography, walking barefoot, or play poi. I was amazed a bit more each day by the beauty of the land, but as well of the mind of human being. I've enriched my mind dictionary with the definition of words like generosity, cross-culture and nationality, or open mind. And I learned that life doesn't need much to be happy. Learning became about building relationships rather than about gaining knowledge and intellectual ability. I didn't know it, but I was probably experiencing a sort of informal action learning. May 2007. After hours driving and asleep at the back of our car, I woke up without knowing where we were. But I didn't have any doubts. A spiritual feeling invited me, and I knew I was going to spend a long time here. Broome. I've started a relationship and friendship based on language and culture difference. It helped me to discover the spiritual side of myself, asking myself some questions I will never have asked otherwise, and help on answering partially to the what do I really want to do in my life. After experiencing different seasonal jobs, and to allow us to extend our visa, Claire and I worked for a pearl farm. Another unforgettable experience. An end for each thing, good or bad. I've sadly and unfortunately learned the word stop on an inner level, as hard as it can be sometime in the deep self. After 12 months in Australia, I went back to Europe for another start, Spain. As I wasn't ready to stay in France, I lived for 6 months in Barcelona. My first goal was to improve my Spanish, which didn't happen, as I didn't really put any will into it, neither have planned it. However, I've experienced couch surfing, community life, or capoeira, club dancing, or cross-culture on a different level, with the discovery of the amazing work from the genius Gaudi, among others. During this time, I also met good friends and had great fun. Yes, I finally did get married to my Nutella, but only as a joke. I left on my own to the one-week Ziget's festival in Budapest, Hungary, with the objective to meet people, which was a great and positive experience for me. I had a totally improvised road trip to Austria from Barcelona with my on-demand bus. And I've decided to celebrate my 25th birthday in Amsterdam with who would come. To sum up these last trips, the surprise of living day after day without knowing what is coming next. Australia, second. At this point, it was a time of good learning through Bikram yoga, for example, and bad learning through some kind of drug addiction. Be confronted to yourself can be uncontrollable sometimes, and it's strength of mind, will, and a guideline. So after a quick stay in Broome, I've shared again the experience of community life, but with the family this time, in Melbourne.
It's really hard. I've had it against the wall.
Look at that lemon and chocolate.
No, marshmallows, because I've been
You're not really good.
orange and lemon. I don't like that. Orange and lemon.
And I was happy to spend Easter, a time full of meaning and memories to me, within this family in the peaceful place which is Malakuta. It was all about finding home through an extended family here. Not ready to leave yet, I flew to Auckland to extend my visa, and I've discovered a bit of a new place with a new culture around friendly people. The following month were the beginning of a new and exciting project, new learning to come, the discovery of Adlhd community, and the meeting with Majula and Anne In's projects. It seemed to me that I finally found what my mind was looking for along these last years. What comes next? You know it already. Everything goes fast. My Gaia application completed within 48 hours and a perilous US visa process. And with a chaotic trip through New York, I had the chance to join the Gaia University Associates team and discover the luxurious and beautiful Virgin Islands Sustainable Farm to continue my life and learning through a mix of skills, dreams, and real opportunities. Voilà.